Hello and welcome to this tips and techniques video from Master Your Photography. In this series we've carefully crafted a collection of short videos designed to provide you with key points on specific topics without any of the unnecessary waffle. Our goal is to give you practical information that you can immediately apply to your own photography. We understand that your time is precious, so we've condensed each video to deliver concise, actionable information. With our tips and techniques series, you'll gain the knowledge and the confidence to improve your photography in no time at all. So that's probably enough waffle, let's get started. There is a very well-known quote by a famous war photographer called Robert Capa, and he said, "If your pictures aren't good enough, then you're not close enough." And what he really meant by that was you need to fill the frame if you want to get maximum impact. It's a case of less is more, that is, less elements within the picture to confuse the viewer. Just get them to focus on the subject by filling the frame with it. By filling the frame with our subject, we're just eliminating any kind of distraction and we're creating much more impact. A photo such as this, where the frame is filled with just a small portion of the whole elephant, but it's the bit that really matters and it's the bit that gets the message across. And the result is that this photo has much more impact than if it included the entire elephant. There are two main ways in which we can fill the frame with our subject. We can physically move closer to it, and so what you end up doing then is usually using a wide angle lens, but be careful because that can distort perspective. However, that perspective distortion can also give your photos much more impact, and it's a technique used quite a lot by press and PR photographers to inject some kind of drama into what can be sometimes fairly mundane subjects. If we can't physically move closer to our subject, then we can use a telephoto lens. Now this has the effect of compressing perspective, and if we use a wide aperture we can use it to blur the background again, which further emphasises our subject. But of course we don't have to use wide angles or telephotos, we can fill the frame with just our standard lens as well. And the beauty of using a standard lens is that it will give you a very natural looking perspective. So the point that I'm trying to make here is that it doesn't really matter whether we're using a wide angle, a standard or a telephoto lens. There are techniques we can use to fill the frame with our subject. Here's an example of a situation where I couldn't physically get close to the interesting bits that were going on in the water. So by switching to a telephoto lens, I could really fill the frame with the action as it happened. This technique isn't just for action photos though. It can be used across many different subjects. Here's some examples. We've got a portrait of the young girl drinking her coffee. The eye line is on the thirds of the composition, so it's got real impact anyway. And by eliminating any distractions outside the frame, then we create a much more powerful image. We've got a landscape shot that is almost pure yellow with just the tractor lines leading through it, and then an abstract shot of some buildings where the telephoto lens has compressed the perspective and made them appear so much closer together. And then at the end there we've got some coffee beans, a macro shot, but the beans have been placed so that we have some in focus in the foreground and then they gradually go out of focus, so it creates depth within the image but it's still filling the frame with the subject. So next time you're out with your camera, doesn't matter which lens you've got on, choose a subject and see if you can fill the frame with it for real impact. Thank you for tuning in to Master Your Photography's Tips and Techniques series. We hope you found this video useful and practical. Remember, each photo you take is a stepping stone towards becoming a better photographer. So get out there and capture the world in your own unique way. Until next time, happy shooting.